guys, what's up? So, missed my, after making my deadline, I missed my very first deadline. So, figured I'd do a quick little video today on what I plan on doing with the PP motor, which I don't know if you can see it behind me, but it's back there. So I've got it set up on the table, kind of walk you through what all I plan on doing. But I figured I would also give you an update on the motor mount situation. I am in the process of building the motor mounts. So that side, I still got to reinforce that side. This one is completely done. For the motor side of it, I have my templates made that I'm going to come off the subframe on each side, and how I'm also going to reinforce those once I weld them to the subframe. But still got a ways to go. I'm time-lapsing pretty much all that stuff, so I'll put some banging music to it, and then and show you the time-lapse, because it's so much welding and grinding that it's not even worth me trying to show all of it. But yeah, so once I get those done, hopefully by this weekend I can dump that video online, and then it'll be onto interior stuff like pulling the windows out of the doors and cutting the doors up so that they're just the skin, and ordering a drop floor plan kit and all that jazz, because gotta save up a little bit of money to put that thing back together. Well, actually the one that's back over there, because I went and trashed the whole thing, and I'm gonna do all new on the whole entire thing, since it's going to be a heavily beat on motor. All the seals and so on and so forth, everything inside the motor will be used. But yeah, so let's go over to the workbench and I'll walk you through all the things that I plan on doing to that motor. Alright, so first things first, got your actual PP housings. As you can tell, this one was leaking at some point, but I think I fixed that with an earlier video of actually doing setting the housing up and doing the DevCon. We'll see how well this lasts. Hopefully it lasts forever and I don't ever have a problem with it. But yeah, so this one, these peripheral ports, I have no idea who made them or anything. I bought them off of a buddy, and so yeah, so there's no telling. I have no records, nothing on it that shows, you know, who would have done them at the time. But it's got a sleeve that's pressed in, and then somebody TIG welded it most of the way around, except for where it's sealed up on top. As you can see, it's not TIG welded there, but this has all been TIG welded and then ground down. So and it was really well done. So instead of it being the press fit kind or anything like that, it shouldn't go anywhere. As for the exhaust port, it's pretty well done too. I mean, it's got some shaping up that it could be done, because this top line is not perfectly straight, but it is massive when it comes to how big the exhaust port typically is. So as you can tell, these are S4, S5, S6, whatever, all the way up until the RX-8 motor came out housings, which means that the coolant grooves are on the irons instead of in the housings. So with that, the housings are done. I'm not going to do anything to them. They're golden since I've sealed them up. I'll probably pressure wash them to get them all cleaned up, and then I plan on painting the whole engine bay at some point, or not the whole engine bay, but the whole engine, something pretty neat, hopefully. The irons, FC, they're S4 irons, NA irons. Obviously they've got the dual port, and they're all, you know, filled up with DevCon. You can take a flat, something flat, and nothing protrudes out past the top of the housing, like, even though that looks like it does. There's no step wear in the housing. which is good. So these are solid, got them from a buddy. Still have to fill in the rest of the housings since I'm not using those. These are S4 rotors. You can see that I'm gonna have to replace the bearing because I set these in a aqueous solution so that they would clean up all the carbon buildup and everything on them. And as you can tell, they look almost brand new except for a couple spots. And all it really needs is a Scotch-Brite taken to it to finish off the cleaning. Got some surface rust, and that's just because it's sitting down here in my basement and the humidity. But these are S4s. I don't even know. I think they're C, weight code C. But I have not. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to run these or try to get some S5. Typical, stock S4 eccentric shaft. Not going to do anything. I might come through and polish it just to have it polished so it's nice and doesn't have any, slickness to it. That's pretty much it on that. I am going to run a rear counterweight so that I can run an aftermarket lightweight flywheel. And then I'm also going to be running Turbo 2 bolts instead of the NA bolts. So I don't know if you can tell in the camera very well, but see how the NA bolt necks down at the thread and the Turbo 2 doesn't. So that should help the motor keep from twisting, even though this will never be a drag motor. It'll never see hard launches. None of that stuff. Everything will be, circuit racing. So I shouldn't have an issue with the motor twisting or anything like that. It's not going to be making anywhere near the kind of power to see that kind of have that kind of issue. Yeah. So with that, I'm trying to think of anything else that I plan on doing to the motor. I'm not sure on whether or not I'm going to run comp bearings yet, since I plan on going through the motor once a year once I actually get the car up and running and we're racing and stuff. So since I plan on going through the motor once a year, if it needs bearings, I can push them out and push new in without any problem. I don't plan on them staying in there for forever. Same with the stationary gears. I may or may not run the comp stationary gears. Haven't really decided yet. The competition bearings in the stationary gears. I do plan on either finding a Turbo 2 oil pump or an FD oil pressure regulator. That way I've got, more oil pressure than what factory comes for the SCs, which is somewhere in like the 60 to 70 ballpark at a full flow, and the FD I think is somewhere in the 90. So just a little bit extra pressure for keep the rotors floating on the centric shaft. Let's see. I think I have walked through the Gene Bird before. Pretty sure most everybody has seen the video of it complete. So it's gonna have Gene Bird 58 IDA, 58 millimeter air horn, or not air horns, but passages. So those are monstrous. And this thing probably will not idle well below the 2000 RPM ballpark, especially with the intake runners. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for this, guys. I just wanted to give you kind of an overview of what I plan on doing to the motor. Every seal and everything is going to be Mazda seal, except for the apex seals. I haven't decided on what I'm going to run for apex seals just yet. I'm on the fence. It's pretty much going to come down to where can I buy the whole seal kit the cheapest, and from who, and then I'll just run their Apex seals, since it's really not going to affect me, you know, if they last a long time. As long as they don't tear up anything, then I really don't care, because I'll be going through the motor so frequently. But anyways, with that, I'm actually going to get back to working on the motor mounts, and hopefully have that done by this weekend. Deuces. And, well, happy Brapping, I should say, since this is, Rotary video.